Okay, so are we doing 2 different beds of garlic?
I think this year we are going to do 2 different beds of garlic.
There's no way we need that much garlic.
There's no way we do. But I'm running out of room. I mean,
Well,
and I've already planted these closer than 6 inches apart.
Well, we maybe should have just thrown away some of them and done half the bed.
We've already bought it. We're gonna plant it.
Oh my God.
Okay. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Sasser House. Today we are really excited because we are starting the project to start 2024's backyard garden. Behind me you'll see our first little attempt at a garden. It's all overgrown. We basically just let this thing go towards the middle to end of the growing season. I was on the road a bunch. We weren't home enough to take care of it, but we still got, I'm not gonna call it a fail because we still got a lot of produce. We've got a ton of green beans in the freezer. We got tomatoes, we got zucchini, strawberries, and all kinds of fun stuff like that out of our first little garden. But next year, we are ramping it up. So we are gonna take this down. We're gonna extend the size of our garden, and we're going to include some raised beds as well as some in-ground. We're going to try to do more of like a no-till method instead of tilling, which is what we did this past year. So we're going to take you along on the journey, and we're going to get started by ripping up what we've got, moving our raised beds in, and taking out any plants that need to be taken out, like our strawberry plants. Since those will come back every year, we don't want those to go to waste. All right, so right here we have got a row of our strawberry plants. A couple of these sent off a bunch of runners, and we have about 10 other strawberry plants up on the porch that I removed from the mother plant and I have had in little containers up on the porch. We'll transplant those back into the dirt, but for now we are about to mow all this down and get rid of all these weeds, grass, and everything that is growing up. So we need to get our strawberry plants out of the ground, which is gonna be difficult because they're covered in weeds. Try to get right around the base of the plant. Ooh, all those weeds. Right here in the middle of the plant. Get rid of that. All right. So that's our first little plant. We will set that aside, get all the other ones out. I'll pull some of these dead branches off. But a lot of folks don't realize the strawberries are perennials, so they will come back every year. They also reproduce on their own and send off runners from the mother plant. And so you can basically have one strawberry plant that will turn into more and more and more strawberry plants, and you never really have to go buy any more. So right here I have got my basket. I just dumped dirt all over me. I have got my basket right here of all of the strawberry, let's go ahead and get that dirt off of me, plants that we got out of the garden. And I have seen where some people will leave these plants in like a bucket for even up to a week, which is crazy. Or maybe it's normal. That's scary to me, because I feel like I can hardly keep things alive when they're in the ground and being watered. So we are going to keep these out of the ground for a short amount of time as possible. But the ones that we had still in the ground, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants in the ground, which originally, this is the cool thing about strawberries. I bought these in, I guess, May from a co-op here in Middle Tennessee where we live, and I bought 6 plants. So I bought 6 strawberry plants, and I remember when the lady was checking me out, she said, "Oh, what variety are these?" And she looked all around and there was no variety name, and I honestly didn't even know to look for a variety. But I learned that there is something called an everbearing strawberry, and then there's strawberries that only grow in like the normal growing season. They grow for a short amount of time. Well, it's clear that I got an everbearing variety because you saw on one of those plants we have 2 ripe strawberries ready to eat, which usually strawberry season is early on in the summer, and then after it's done, and the strawberries don't produce anymore. Well, obviously I got an everbearing variety because they have produced all season long. They haven't produced that much, but it's also the first year that I've had them, and they'll continue to grow and do better and better as the years go on. So all of my runners are in pots right here up on the porch. I said I had 10, but I have less than that. I have 6, and then we have 7 in here. So I've already over doubled the amount that I started with in just one growing season, which I think is really cool, and something that I didn't realize when I first got into gardening and I bought these strawberries. I didn't realize that they would multiply and give me more strawberries. So I don't think we'll ever really have to buy strawberry plants again. These will hopefully continue to multiply each and every season, and we can continue to get more and more strawberry plants. All right, so Chris obviously built this fence to withstand the test of time. How are we doing?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. I haven't weed eated, so we can't find the stakes that are holding it in the ground. So I'm getting it off the post, but we gotta go find the stakes that hold it in the ground. But that's why we want to replace it next year. We used this cheaper, flimsier stuff, which worked fine. But the problem is when I weed eat against it, I actually can break the wire fence, and then it makes it pointless if, rabbits and things can get in there easy. So next year we're going to do like cattle panel, I think. It's a little sturdier, so if I weed eat, it won't break the cattle panel.
We went back and forth originally when we were starting this garden last year, if we should do a fence or not do a fence. And where we live, we have all kinds of critters. We've got all kinds of deer and rabbits and moles and all kinds of stuff. The fence doesn't keep the moles out, but thankfully they didn't do that much damage to what we had growing this season. But the deer have chomped every hosta that we planted in our landscaping, and as soon as they start to grow back, they come and chomp them down. We left this open for one night, and I had some sweet potato plants growing in containers, and they came and chomped down all the leaves growing on top of the sweet potato plants. So the fence is a necessity. So we're gonna amp it up this next season and do something that's a little bit sturdier and will hopefully hold up a lot better. We did a whole lot more wrong than we did right this season, and one of the things that we did very, very wrong was we did not look at the varieties of green beans we were planting. As some of our green beans were growing, we realized that we had planted bush beans and pole beans, and our pole beans were needing something to trellis up very quickly. So originally we put these wooden stakes in, thinking that that would be tall enough. We were so wrong. So then Chris used some leftover bits of this paneling that he used for the fence and stapled it to either sides of the poles. It was a mess. It ended up leaning a lot as the plants were growing and getting heavy. So we learned a really big lesson on not cutting corners when it comes to trellising. So learn from our mistakes. We're showing you all the ugly, horrible fails that we had, hopefully so that you can learn from it and we can all do better together.
Roll it up as tight as I can so we can reuse this.
right, T-post coming out.
Yep.
It's about ready to mow down what used to be the garden. This is embarrassing. But hey, you live and you learn. And we learned a lot our first year. After Chris got done mowing, he went ahead and put in a couple raised beds. We got these off of Facebook Marketplace from a builder here locally in Middle Tennessee. And we are still undecided as to what to do for a majority of the garden, but I knew I wanted raised beds for garlic, onions, sweet potatoes, and carrots. So he's just putting some cardboard at the bottom of those and getting them set up and ready to go. Okay. So we are getting ready for supper, and it's dark outside. Chris has been working out in the garden, or what will be the garden, getting our raised beds put up. And we're unfortunately gonna have to plant our garlic in the dark, but that is just what happens when you both work full-time jobs. And it gets dark at like 6:30 in Middle Tennessee. So we got our garlic in the mail, and if you are an experienced garlic planter, look at me, I'm such a novice gardener. Okay, you might know something better, but I waited until a little bit later in the season to get on top of it because I knew that garlic had to be planted in the fall, but I waited until like all the main suppliers that I'd heard about were all sold out of their seed garlic. So I ordered mine actually off of Amazon from Country Creek Acres, if anybody is curious, and we got some fresh California Softneck garlic bulb for planting and growing. And then we also got some Siberian hardneck. So we're gonna be doing hardneck and softneck. Now, hardneck varieties give you something called a garlic scape that tastes, it's like a big green part of the garlic that grows up, and it tastes just like garlic. So I'm really excited. I've never tried that before. It's not sold in stores, I don't think. I've never seen it before, but I've heard about it and seen other gardeners talk about it. And I'm excited to get to try that and cook with it. Softneck varieties do not produce that big hard neck. So we spent $17 on all this garlic, and we have enough garlic to plant to have a whole lot of garlic. So I want to try and keep this separate. This says 6S, G3, and G3. So I think all of these are the same right here, because I want to be able to remember what I've planted when it grows. Let's see. Okay, so this must be, I must have ordered 3 of these. 3 white garlic bulbs. Yes, so I must have ordered 3 of these. So these are our soft neck. And this right here is our hard neck variety. So I didn't know this until I started watching other folks plant and grow garlic. But all you do to plant garlic is plant a clove. But what I have learned is the size of clove that you plant will directly impact the size of garlic bulb that you'll harvest. So you don't want to plant really small cloves because it's only going to produce a really small head of garlic. But if you plant your large bulbs, then you're more likely to be able to harvest a large bulb of garlic. And so it's really cool to think that you literally plant this clove in the ground, and over winter, it goes dormant over winter, and then in the spring, it will produce an entire head of garlic from just this one clove. So we're gonna have a lot of seed to plant with all this garlic. I think we went a little overboard, but it'll be fun. So all I'm gonna do is separate these cloves, and you leave all the paper on, and you put the bottom side down, and then this top little pointy part up, and you wanna make sure you don't plant it upside down like this. This little end goes into the ground, and this part goes up. So I'm just gonna separate these bulbs and get these in a bowl, and we're gonna do some nighttime planting tonight of this garlic. I had so much fun breaking apart these bulbs of garlic. I know that sounds probably a little bit goofy, but it's so much fun to learn a new skill and to try new things. And it's not ideal to be planting this garlic in the pitch black dark as we're about to do, but hey, you make the most of it. If you're passionate about something, you'll make time for it. And this is the only time we had. Okay, so I cracked open one of our hardneck varieties because I just wanted to see if there was a difference in these, but it doesn't seem like there is. But this one looks a little soft, almost like it's gone bad. So we're definitely not going to plant that one. I do think these cloves don't look as strong as the other ones, but I don't know. I guess time will tell after they grow. So I don't really see a difference. I thought that hardneck varieties only grew, like I thought that you got maybe more bulbs out of softneck varieties, and then hardneck varieties you don't get as many bulbs, but maybe I dreamed that because this looked a lot like the inside of these. So I don't know if there really is that much of a difference. This is messy work, y'all. All right. I have also heard that it's really good to buy seed garlic instead of just going to your grocery store, because most grocery stores treat their garlic bulbs with like chemicals to keep them from sprouting, which would mean they're probably not. Chris, I need your help on this. See if you can one-handed that.
What am I doing?
Just trying to break it apart.
No.
No, okay.
You pull that way.
That's a toughie.
No.
Okay. Well, I have heard that at grocery stores, come on, I can't be a weakling on the camera. None of them have been this difficult. Okay, I got it. Anyways, I've heard that grocery stores treat their garlic with like anti-sprouting. That way it lasts longer on the shelves. So you wouldn't really want to just like go to your local grocery store and buy garlic and plant it, because it might not sprout because it's been sprayed with a chemical to keep it from sprouting. So that's why it's good to buy seed garlic. So something we are officially starting for 2024 is our garden notebook. It's so cute, it's got little flowers on it. We are gonna grow flowers this year too. But I think that this will help me hopefully know what I did and learn as each year goes on. So I'm gonna go ahead and write down what we're planting, and then after we plant them, we will have a tally for how many bulbs we planted, and then after we harvest, we'll be able to tell like, okay, that was either way too many or way too little, we want to do more, but we won't know if we don't keep track of it. So we have the Fresh California Softneck, and then we have the Fresh Siberian Hardneck. So I'll write these down so that we'll know what varieties we have, and then we will count how many we plant tonight, and we'll be able to keep track of it, and that way we'll know what we did. Okay, we'll start with this first. It needs to be planted 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart, and we're gonna kind of eyeball this because, well, we're obviously doing this at 9 p.m. at night. So I think at this point, okay, so 2 inches. So that's about 2 inches, Chris, like,
yep,
right in there.
Yep.
So all we're gonna do is plant base side down, 2 inches down. You think that's good?
Yep.
And cover her up. Okay, so that was one. Did you say that's about 6 inches?
Yeah.
A little more? Okay. So that's one. We gotta count these. 1, 2, hope that's not too deep. 3. 4. Look, this one's already sprouting. I don't know if I can, you know, it's an experiment. 6. Seven. 8. I don't know what that is. Okay, so there was our first row, just about right in there. Did you say like right there is good? Right here? If our first one was like right in here, is that about 6 inches, you think?
Yep.
How many did I do? 7?
You did 8.
Oh, 8.
Yeah, and I think that'll be how you can count it. So now you don't have to necessarily count. It's 3. Okay, so now, update. Now Emily is getting the holes pre-dug out, so our spacing is a little better and not as random. And then
Are you calling my spacing random? That's rude.
Well, this looks much better.
Well, I am doing this in the dark.
This is true. But we can look at the stars. I don't think you can see any of the stars. You can see the moon though.
So this was 18, right? No, that was 18. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34.
It should be, if your spacing was right, I think you miscounted right here. You should be doing 8 every single time. And so you've got 2 rows right here and 2 rows there. So you're 4 rows in of 8 right now.
We should have just counted these before.
Nope. You've got 4 rows of 8 right now. Your 5th row. I think I like raised beds.
I don't know what to do. If we post this and people comment before it's too late in the season, let us know if you think, you've seen our yard, if you've seen some of our other videos. We've got a big flat yard back here, which I feel like it would be a waste to do raised beds when we have the yard that we have. I feel like we ought to do some type of either no dig, in ground, or I don't know.
But my argument for raised beds is that I think that it will be the least amount of maintenance as far as weeds go for us, which we are always on the road and busy and traveling.
Yeah.
And so I think that that is really important. But maybe if we use the right landscaping fabric or cardboard, or maybe there's better ways to do it and still do it in ground.
Last year we tilled up a little plot and I tried really hard. I asked for all kinds of tips and I tried very hard to keep it heavily mulched with straw, and it just grew grass. I mean, like every time I put new straw down, it just grew grass. And so it was really discouraging because I could not stay on top of the weeds. And so then we talked about doing landscape fabric this year, and then we started watching videos on no-till and like lasagna gardening, where you put cardboard down and that acts as your weed barrier, and then you bring your dirt in on top of that cardboard, and that cardboard like decomposes. And anyway, so we thought about doing that, but I don't know what we're gonna do. learn. If we do anything, we'll learn.
I think while we're out here in the middle of the dark, we should give them an update on our new apple trees.
Okay. So I asked for apple trees for my birthday. There's a plane flying by. If you're hearing that, I'm sorry. But I asked for apple trees for my birthday, and I was so excited to get them. We're gonna let that plane fly by 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead. I have 4 little bitty cloves of this hardneck variety, but we've got this huge bucket of this softneck. Okay, so we just finished out our second bed and our cell phone died. We were in the middle of our deer story, but I wanted to let you know we finished out our second bed of all our softneck variety. We planted all of our seed in here, and we have 90, right, Chris?
Yep.
We have 90 garlic cloves planted in here. And the neat thing is we did spend $17 on all this garlic, but we can save cloves when they grow, and we'll never have to buy seed garlic again unless we want to. So anyways, we've got 90 in this bed, and over in that bed we have, what did you say, 70?
72. So
72.
162.
So 162. So if it all grows, we'll have 162 bulbs of garlic, which I don't know what you do with all that. Didn't think that one through, but you live and you learn. So we ended up using 2 of our beds on this. We'll see how it does. But back to our deer story. This is very unfortunate. I wanted apple trees for my birthday, and that was another big thing that we've done here around the Sasser House. We bought the apple trees and we planted them, and unfortunately, we didn't realize this, but deer love to rub their antlers on apple trees to get the sap. And a buck has literally demolished one of these apple trees, snapped it like a twig.
Watch where you're walking.
And I'll tell you what, if I could find that buck, I would try to snap him like a twig, and then I'd eat him for supper.
Oh, I think we're going to.
Look at this. Look at this. So here is our apple tree, and you can see where he's gone in and rubbed his antlers. And look at it, he attacked it like it was some kind of, look at this, that's my brand new apple tree.
I hope it's not dead. Look at this one.
And this one's leaning. They've attacked it too.
It's on this side.
And all over on this side, they have rubbed that bark right off.
So we're gonna shoot him next time we see him.
Oh, we're gonna shoot him good.
And then eat him.
And then eat him. Look, there's a spider in there. That's scary. But anyways, so who knows? It sounds like we might end up, once we do a new fence out here, putting all of our fruit trees inside the fence and just doing a fenced off garden here in the backyard. We wanted to have our apple trees lining this side of our property, but
well, I think we're still going to. We're gonna just wrap fence basically around them.
me and Chris are deciding things right here on camera with you guys. I don't want to look because I don't want to blind them. Okay, so our neighbor told us we could put a cage around them, so we may try to leave it. I'm just thinking, if they're going to do this now, what are they going to do when fruit's on it? I just feel like we ought to pick them up and move them somewhere else. But anyways, you live and you learn that deer are evil. Just even more reason to kill them and eat them. Okay, I have our garlic written down of what we planted, 162 cloves. And I'm gonna save our little receipt as well, so that maybe I'll do better this year of saving receipts, so I know actually how much money we have in the garden versus how much produce and stuff came out of it, because I have a feeling it's gonna be discouraging.
I threw away the dirt receipt already for the compost.
That's okay.
Starting now,
we're saving receipts. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so excited to have garlic planted, and I really pray that the Lord blesses it and that we have all kinds of garlic to enjoy and to share with others. And so on the next video, we will be extending the garden, and maybe we'll probably just be extending the garden. We still have to get a fence up. So we have a lot of work that we need to do. If you're interested, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on what we're doing. I know that in the beginning of this video, I talked about the no-till method. Chris is over here fighting for raised beds. Let us know in the comments if you have an opinion. Part of me thinks we just need to till up a big old plot and put weed barrier down and call it a day. But I'm going to do some more studying in the Old Farmer's Almanac. I absolutely love this. It's the Vegetable Gardener's Handbook, and I talked about this on our Instagram about a year ago. There are all kinds of videos and resources online, but this is really great because it talks about all different kinds of gardening, whether you're doing it on the deck of your apartment, whether you're doing it in a backyard like we are, or whatever it is you're doing. I'm gonna see what they say. I'm gonna try to study up, make an educated decision, and we will see what we decide to do for the rest of the garden for 2024. So thank you for being here. We love y'all. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.